Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to today's session. While everyone is joining, let's wait for a few minutes to give time for everyone to join. And in the meanwhile, it would be great if we could take this time to get to know each other a little bit. So if you could let me know which city, state, or country you're joining us from, you can use the chat feature in the respective platform that you're joining from. And we'll wait for your responses. So please let us know your name and where you're joining us from. Okay, we have Vishav joining from Montreal, Canada. Welcome. Preeti, Roswell, Georgia. Okay. Rick, Westlake, Ohio. Okay. JK, Malpani, Atlanta. Wonderful. We have Ellen joining from Mexico. Himabundu, Houston. Azade, Philly. Oscar, Bolivia. We have someone joining all the way from Varanasi, from India, Dipanshu. Colombia, South America. Wonderful. Islini, welcome. Tracy from Louisiana. Sandra, North Carolina. Marcia, Miami. Vicky, New Jersey. Okay. Dale, Arizona. Jagdish from Bangladesh. Emmanuel from Mexico. Okay. Varun from Canada. Jose from Argentina. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today from all over the world. My name is Shruti, and I am a full time volunteer with Isha Foundation, an international non-profit organization dedicated to human well being, established by Sadhguru, a yogi, mystic, and visionary. Isha Foundation has been offering tools for well-being from yogic sciences for over 35 years in around 300 city centers and supported by 11 million volunteers worldwide. Today, we are bringing to you this session from Isha Institute of Inner Sciences in Tennessee, USA. In this session, we will look at Inner Engineering Program, which is the flagship program that is offered by Sadhguru and Isha Foundation, and Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. So we will mainly be addressing the questions that you have about the program, about Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, how to register, what are the benefits, how to get maximum benefit out of the program, or any other questions that you may have. So we would like this session to be as interactive as possible. So please feel free to use the chat feature to communicate with us and send your questions. Okay, so before we begin, it would be great to know at what point you are in your inner engineering journey. If you have not heard about inner engineering yet, not started it, or those of you who have started doing inner engineering online and not yet completed, and those of you who have completed the inner engineering online program but not yet learned Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, and if you have already learned Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, you will see a poll if you're on Big Marker. On the other platforms, if you could just let us know through the chat. Okay, so we have the poll results. It seems almost 54% of you have not taken inner engineering, and 24% have completed inner engineering online program, and 17% have completed learning Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. So, what is this inner engineering about? Why is it needed, first of all? We have done much engineering to the outside world. Obviously, the purpose of engineering the world around us is to create situations and atmospheres as we want them, as it is comfortable and convenient for us, isn't it? Especially in the last 100 years, we have done a tremendous amount of engineering to the outside world, to the point where the very face of the planet has changed dramatically. We have comforts and conveniences that we could not have imagined just a few decades ago. What was unthinkable 100 years ago is available today to common people in the world. This external engineering has definitely brought a lot of comfort and convenience to us in every way. If you look and compare yourself to the generations before you, you are the most comfortable generation ever on the planet, isn't it? Yes or no? Aren't we the most comfortable generation ever on the planet? But although we are the most comfortable, we definitely cannot claim to be the most peaceful, joyful, loving generation. Definitely not the happiest generation on the planet, are we? We cannot say that. So, this external engineering, though much comfort has come out of it in terms of life, it does not seem to have worked. Why hasn't this worked? Now, if you look at it, if you just ask anyone, one thing that everyone will complain about is stress. If you asked president of this country, he's stressed. You ask people in your office, they are stressed. You ask anyone on the street, he's also stressed. It seems everyone is saying that their job is stressful. There's no job in the world which is stressful. You are stressed simply because you do not know how to manage your systems. Where is this stress happening? Is it happening outside your body or within your system? It's happening from within, yes? If you had a choice, if you had a control over your system, would you create stress? No. So you lost control over your interiority. Your interiority is not happening the way you want it to happen. That is the problem. Now, as there is a science and technology for external well being, there's a science and technology for inner well being, which we are calling as inner engineering. If you employ this technology, you can create your inner well being. You can create your inner situation just the way you want, not dictated by the outside situation, but just the way you want. If you wanted to be within yourself, if you had a choice, how you would want to be. Hmm? You would want to be pleasant all the time, joyful, peaceful, isn't it? That's how you would want to be. But are you able to be joyful all the time right now? 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week. Are you joyful? Let's say you go to a beach, looking at the beautiful scenery, being in the peaceful environment, you feel peaceful. You spend there a few minutes, you're peaceful. You come back to the parking lot and you see that someone hit your car and left a big scratch on it. What happens to your peace? It all goes away, isn't it? So, in a peaceful environment, anybody can be peaceful. But if you can be peaceful in a busy marketplace, if you can be peaceful in a place which is full of problems, only then it is yours. So, inner engineering means that you have the tools and technologies to be peaceful from within, irrespective of what's happening on the outside, irrespective of what's the external situation. Now, how does this technology work? How does it allow us to create an inner state just the way we want, irrespective of our life situation? Let's hear about it a little bit more from Sadhguru.
Now, we are thinking of happiness like it's some kind of a commodity or some kind of an attainment. No, when your life comes to ease, when you come to ease, happiness is a natural consequence. Coming to ease, what does it mean? There are many ways to look at this. Well, because I should not say look inward. You already put a condition on me. So, is it true that today, even medically we know, every human experience has a chemical basis to it? So what you call as peace is one kind of chemistry, happiness is another kind of chemistry, joy is another kind of chemistry, misery is another kind of chemistry, agony is one kind of chemistry, ecstasy is another kind of chemistry. Every human experience has a chemical basis to it. Or in other words, you are a very complex chemical soup. The question is only, are you a great soup or a lousy soup? If you're a great soup, you taste good, not for somebody, for yourself. When you taste very good for yourself, if you sit here, if you feel extremely pleasant within yourself because the soup is great, then people say you are happy. If you become very, very pleasant, people will say you're joyful. If you become super pleasant, people will say you're ecstatic. So, to make it very simple and understandable for most people, your chemistry needs to be altered. There's a whole technology with which we can create the kind of chemistry that you want. If I teach you how to create a blissful chemistry within yourself, your very chemistry is blissful and you will be blissful. When you're blissful, you will no more be in pursuit of happiness. That is the biggest mistake, that we are in pursuit of happiness. Your life has to become an expression of joy. When your life is an expression of your experience, then what you do not do will not determine the quality of your life. How you are within yourself will determine the quality of your life. I'm sorry, once again I use the word within, but chemistry is not within, it is still outside of you. But if you know how to make the right soup, then being joyful is not an issue, it's a natural consequence of that. So, we can teach you a technology, we can teach you a methodology with which you will know how to stir the right kind of soup within you. This is what I'm calling as inner engineering, that you engineer your chemistry in such a way that it's blissful by its own nature, not because of something. If you think you're going to squeeze happiness out of something or somebody, you will be disappointed because nothing will yield anything unless you have a chemistry of blissfulness within you.
So how to go about this inner engineering? Inner engineering is offered in two steps. The first step is Inner Engineering Online Program, where you go through a set of 7 classes online with Sadhguru. Each class is 90 minutes long and you can do it at your own pace, in your own time, in your own place. And each class consists of discourses by Sadhguru, guided meditations, simple yogic practices, and also some awareness exercises. Inner Engineering Online provides you tools to bring about emotional, psychological well being. It empowers you to get your mind and your emotions functioning at the optimum level so that you can go through life situations gracefully without stress, and you're able to create your inner situation just the way you want. Hmm? So once you go through the Inner Engineering Online Program, there are bonus videos that you can go through. There's also a review webinar that's offered once a month for you if you want to review whatever you learned in the Inner Engineering Online Program. And the tools that you learned, you can practice by yourself. It is a very powerful program in itself. For millions of people who have gone through it, it has been life transformational. Not because anything changed in their life as such, the content of life doesn't change, but the context changes. The way you go through life, the experience of life completely changes because it equips you with tools to be able to effectively manage your body, your mind, and your emotions. So once you have these tools from Inner Engineering online program and experience their benefits on your psychological and emotional well-being, if you wish to further this journey, then you can look at Inner Engineering completion program, in which you learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, which is a powerful 21-minute process with a few preparatory steps. Kriya means an inner energy process that incorporates the breath. So, with the Inner Engineering Completion Program, now you equip yourself with a powerful process that works on the level of your energy and can help to create a chemistry of peace and bliss from within, as Sadhguru talked about it. So, these are the two steps. Once you learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, then you just practice it by yourself at home. And there are monthly gatherings that happen in each city where people who have learned Shambhavi, they come together, they practice together, and they're volunteers who are trained to support with practice, who are also present, who provide that support. So once you learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, there's a lot of support that volunteers provide for your practice, for you to be able to keep up with it, and any other support that you need. So when you go through the program, we talk about all the support that's there. So we would like to take a pause here, and we want to see what kind of questions you have so that we can decide how to structure this session further. So please use the chat feature to let us know the questions that you have. We already have few questions that have started to come in, so we'll take a look at them. Okay, so Kirsten, I enrolled online to start this program. My understanding is 7 sessions to start. Can you let me know how much time to schedule for each session? So as I mentioned earlier, each session is 90 minutes long. Question from Tracy. I'm 65 with recent knee surgery. Will I be able to do the postures? I have signed up for the September program. So, Inner Engineering, even though it's a flagship program, it is designed in such a way that anyone with any kind of physical agility can go through it. No prior experience of yoga or physical agility is needed. If you have any physical injury or any particular health condition, it's possible that you're not able to do some postures as the way they are instructed. But when you go through the program, the instructor will go through the different kind of variations that you could do depending on your physical condition. But the Kriya, the 21-minute Kriya that's there, it's a very simple process that you do seated down, and it doesn't really need much fitness or agility as such. So, question from Rick. So, you have to take Inner Engineering portion, pass, and get certified before you can move on to the rest of the program. So, there's no such thing as passing and getting certified, Rick. It's not like an exam that you go through, it's not like that. It's just that the program we have divided into two components. It's just broken into two components. There's the first part of it can be given online, and something that you can do at your own pace. So it is still, you're going through 7 classes with Sadhguru. He's taking you through the meditations, giving you the practices. So you're just going through it. There's no test as such. You're just going through the first part of the program. Then the second part of the program, which is Inner Engineering Completion, where we teach you Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, it is such that it needs dedicated space and time. So it's not something that you can just do at your own time, in your own place. For Inner Engineering Completion program, everyone comes together and then it happens live with an instructor. Well, it happens in 2 ways. Before pandemic, we just used to do the completion part in person. That means Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya was only taught in person because it is a very powerful practice. And even though it's not complex, but it's very important that it's taught and received in the right way. So we take elaborate care in setting up the space, making sure that the environment is conducive and the proper support is there for you to learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. That is the reason it used to be only offered in person. But when pandemic started and we were not able to offer programs in person, we started offering Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya also online. But what happens is that it happens live online with an instructor, and volunteers are there who are connected to you through your webcam. So we try to create an atmosphere as close as possible to an in-person program where volunteers are with you with every step. They're connected to you through chat and through your webcam and supporting you, and you're learning the whole practice live. It's almost like an online class that is happening. Um, okay. So Santiago program will be in what languages in September? So like I said, engineering completion can be done in two ways, the online or in-person program. So we have an online completion program that's coming up in September. That's what Santiago is referring to. Currently, it's being offered only in English. Um, but let's say you're not very fluent in English, but you're able to understand um, the instructions in English. So as long as you're able to understand, you can still go through the program. You may not be able to communicate back, which is okay. But it's important that you are able to understand it. We are working on being able to offer it in other languages, but right now we are only offering it in English. Okay. Question from Tatum. Can a 16-year-old participate in this program? Yes, the age group is 15 and above. Question from Nehal. Will Sadhguru initiate us during the online program? So Nehal, the online program, it is led by an instructor as per guidance received from Sadhguru. However, the initiation part of the program, initiation happens with Sadhguru always, whether the program is happening with an instructor online or whether it's happening in person. The Sadhguru has designed the program in such a way that the initiation part always it happens with Sadhguru, and you don't really have to worry about that aspect because initiation into Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, how you receive this practice, really depends on you, your commitment, and your involvement with the program. If you set up the right atmosphere, you are fully committed, fully involved. Uh, with the whole process, then you will receive it. Then it's a process of transmission, which works depending on your commitment and your involvement. Not really depends on the medium through which you're getting initiated, whether it's online or in person, or whether it's happening with the instructor or whether it's happening with Sadhguru in person. It doesn't really matter. But there's a video online. We will show you the website that has more resources. There is a video that we will show you, which you can look at it, where Sadhguru explains more about this initiation process and the transmission and how online versus offline doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so when is the next inner engineering refresher? From Vishav. So, Vishav, I'm not sure if you're talking about the inner engineering online refresher, or you're talking about Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. If you're talking about inner engineering online program, usually the refresher webinars are happened once a month. You can email to our support team and ask them, because usually once you have gone through the program, you should be receiving emails about these webinars, these refresher webinars that are scheduled. If you're not receiving the emails, it's probably going into your spam or promotions folder, or you'll probably need to work with the support team to see that you are able to get this communication, so that when these webinars are scheduled, you're informed about it. Okay, so since there are a lot of questions about the specifics of the program, the registration process, the dates, what we will do now is we will just go through the website of Inner Engineering. We would like to show you the different resources that are available for you, and how to navigate through all the information that's there. And then we will come back to the rest of the questions. Okay. So we will show you the website. So if you just type innerengineering.com, it will take you to this website, which has everything. You will see on this, there is a video that you can look at to know more about inner engineering. In today's session, we briefly talked about it, but if you want to know what is this inner engineering in more detail, you can look at this video. Okay. Then when you go down, you'll see the information on inner engineering online and inner engineering completion both. So you go to learn more. That's where you'll know more information about the 7 classes, and briefly talks about what you're learning in each of the class. Okay, in each of the sessions. So that's the online program, and let's go back. So this is the completion online program, the completion program that's offered online once in every few months. The next that's coming up is in September. So you go there and you look at the details. So you go down and scroll down. You'll see, so someone asked if is Shambhavi um, initiated by Sadhguru online. So if you watch this video that's here, there Sadhguru gives you a very elaborate context on what it means to get initiated into Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, and how doing it online doesn't really make a difference to the initiation process. Okay. Then there was a question that somebody was asking about what is Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. So Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya is a 21-minute Kriya. Kriya means it's an energy process that works on the level of your energies, incorporating the breath. And as Sadhguru said, it helps to create a chemistry of peace and bliss from within. It is a very powerful process from ancient yogic sciences designed by Sadhguru. If you look at that video that's there, it will tell you the benefits of Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, the miraculous effects. Okay. The website also has here the benefits. If you go to the benefits, you'll be able to see, that it can provide you relief from a lot of chronic ailments, a lot of psychological ailments. Again, all these benefits are on the level of your physical well-being, physical and mental well-being, but they are further um, benefits. And there, those of you who have a scientific mindset and you want to know, scientifically, if there's been any research done, and if any data has been analyzed. So there are some people who have done research on the practitioners of Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, and you'll see some results coming out of the studies. Widely, you'll see that many people, they've reported relief from their psychological ailments just after a few weeks of practice. Okay, so all these information is there. There's also sharing from many people who went through the program, and they've shared about how their life was transformed. Many of them are now volunteering with us to take these programs further to people like you. Okay, so the program structure, this is the Inner Engineering Completion online program. So there are 3 sessions. Like I said, 3 sessions. You do it live with the Isha Yoga instructor. Session 1 and 2 are 2.5 hours long each. There are multiple dates and timings that you can select. Once you select a timing for session 1, then automatically your timing for session 2 is selected. Session 2 will happen at the same time the next day. So there are various small groups that go through session 1 and 2 with the different instructors. And then for session 3, everyone comes together. All groups come together, and it's a day-long session, 9 hours with breaks. That's where the transmission of Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya happens, and you will receive more information about, the timings and the breaks as you're going through the program. Hmm? So um, if you want to go through this completion program and learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, you should have completed the online program, all 7 sessions. And there are various technical requirements because it's offered online, so you'll be able to see that, receive support from volunteers. Also, since this is happening online, it's up to you to create a conducive atmosphere for you to be able to go through the program in the best possible manner. So it's recommended to have a quiet and private space, and ideally a 3 x 6 foot area, so that you can then do some postures and do the practice, and without any disturbance from your family members and pets. If you're able to create such kind of atmosphere in your home or some other place, that's the best way to go through this program. Okay, so when you go to the registration, you'll see more information on the timings. You'll see the session, what are the various timings that you can attend, and you can register for it. So that's the completion online program. And if you go to the main page further down, there is more information about the in-person programs. So some of you uh, have been asking how to do a Shambhavi program in person. So in-person completion programs are right now being offered at Isha Institute of Inner Sciences in Tennessee. It's a residential program, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And shortly we'll also start offering it in cities. We used to offer it in all major cities in North America pre-pandemic, and this fall we are planning to resume at least in the major cities, and hopefully by early next year we will be able to resume in all the 60 city centers that we have in North America. Now, those of you who want to do inner engineering, instead of going through 2 different steps, want to do everything together, online plus completion together in one program, there's an option for that. It's called Inner Engineering Retreat. Right now it's being offered again at Isha Institute of Inner Sciences in Tennessee. It will be a 4-day program, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you don't have to go through anything online before that. Everything is happening in one program there. Okay, so both these programs, in-person programs, the completion program and retreat, if you explore the website more, you'll see the upcoming dates. Usually they are offered once a month, and you can just take it from there. Right now, we don't have any plan to offer the inner engineering retreats in cities, but we may start offering it in future. Okay. So hopefully that answered most of the questions. Now let's see what else, what other questions are there which we haven't answered yet. So question from Preeti that I'm afraid I'm not able to do yogasanas as my body is not flexible, but I'm very much interested in the program. So Preeti, this program, as I mentioned, doesn't really need any physical agility. The asanas that you learn for Shambhavi Mahamudra are just preparatory asanas. They are taught to prepare your system so that they are able to receive the powerful Kriya. And they're very simple postures. Even if you're not able to do those postures, it's still okay, because the Shambhavi Kriya, which is a 21-minute practice, is very simple. And even if there is any kind of handicap or physical or medical condition, then the instructors will be able to guide you so that you're able to do the Kriya in the way that is that works for you. Okay. Is standing required to attend Shambhavi Mahamudra online? I currently have a torn ACL. So when you're attending Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya program, it's best to be able to go through the program in a seated posture. If you are able to sit on the floor, that's the best. If you're not able to sit on the floor, then you can sit on the chair. Okay. If you're not able to sit for long duration and you do need to stand up in between, that's okay also. What is the difference between inner engineering retreat course that I saw on website at Coimbatore and inner engineering? So Hima Bindu, inner engineering retreat means it's a residential program, and usually the inner engineering retreat is just referring to the 4-day retreat where you go through the online component and the completion program together in person, okay, in just one single program. How long is the completion process from Minakshi? We talked about it. It's 3 sessions. 1 and 2 are 2.5 hours long, and session 3 is 9 hours long if you're doing it online. If you're doing it in person, then it's a 2-day residential program right now. Okay. So, question from Kenneth: who is this program for? So, Kenneth, this program is for anyone who wishes to live well, to function at the peak of their well-being, peak of physical well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being, inner well-being. It allows you to bring in complete overhaul of your body, mind, emotions, and energies, and you can completely take charge of your life by taking charge of these faculties. So, anyone who wishes to live well, who wishes to have full control over their faculties and create the life the way they want, this inner engineering is a wonderful program to go through. Mm, for many of us, just going through inner engineering and going through the practice has transformed life in many ways. Personally, for me, I did inner engineering program in 2012. I was working in financial sector at that time. I didn't go into this program looking at any particular benefits, but just doing this practice twice a day for a few weeks brought so many changes in me. Physically, definitely, so many health issues that were there. Minor issues, nothing major I had. They just completely fell away. And at work, I noticed an immense difference. Just the way my mind was functioning, my thought process was functioning, completely changed, irrespective of what was happening at work, whether it was a stressful situation or not. The way I was handling situations and going through it, there was a certain ease that came into my life, and things started becoming more and more effortless. All this was happening on the level of body and mind, but even within myself, there was a sense of joy, there was a sense of fulfillment that was there, just making use of these tools that Sadhguru gave. And now I am a full-time volunteer, and just trying to take this practice to as many people as possible. So some people go through this program because they are going through some physical difficulty which they want to work towards, or they're going through some psychological difficulty, or you may not even have any health issues as such, but you just want to live a more um, complete life where you have control of your faculties, hmm? and where you can function at the peak of your well-being. So definitely this program is for everyone. Okay, so question from Maklana: can two people who have already completed inner engineering attend Shambhavi Mahamudra using one computer? So if you are going through Shambhavi Mahamudra online, it is very important that you're able to create an atmosphere where you can just go through the process uninterrupted. Um, just like just like you were going through it in person, one on one, without any disturbance from anyone. So if you are doing it with someone else in your family and you feel like sitting together, you may not be able to fully focus, be 100% involved with the process, then it's better that you uh, have you you be in two different spaces. But if you both of you are able to go through it in a fully committed manner, even if you are together, then it's okay. You could possibly go through it together, but it would be good if you can let the volunteers know ahead of time that you will both of you will be going it together through one computer. Hmm? And both of you should have registered for the program separately. But I would recommend that this is your own journey, and it's best that you do it alone so that you're not even looking or focused on what the other person is doing. You're not distracted by each other. You're just completely focused on this process for yourself. Okay, so Michaela, I was too late. September program for Shambhavi was already closed. When will be the next possibility? So, Michaela, the September program is not closed yet. It is open. I think you're probably talking about the uh, the early bird discount that was there that expired. But the program registration is still open, so you're not too late. Please go ahead and register for it and start the program. You'll just have to finish your online program before, in the next few weeks, before the completion program begins. I practice Kundalini. Can I still take the program? Yes, you can still take the program and learn Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya and see how it works and how your experience of doing Shambhavi Mahamudra is. From Jose, if I don't complete 7 practices of the online program, I think 7 sessions of online program, why can't I do Shambhavi Mahamudra? So, Jose, this is a step by step sequential process. It is a science. If you have uh, learned chemistry, you if you put hydrogen and oxygen, water comes, right? The science works like that. So similarly, this is a step by step process. You go through step 1 and then you go through step 2 and then step 3 comes. Like that, Sadhguru has designed this whole process. So inner engineering online is, you can call it the first step, and even all the 7 classes that are there in the inner engineering online are step by step. You go through first class, and then the second class builds on top of that. Then you finish that, you go to third class that builds on top of that. Once you go through all the 7 classes, then you learn Shambhavi Mahamudra. So if you miss one step, then you can't go to the next step. It has to happen in that sequence for this science to function the way it is designed. Question from Fran, is the inner engineering helpful for depression? So we have had many people who have gone through the program who had psychological ailments, depression, anxiety, or even other major problems. And after practicing the Kriya and after going through the program, they did report that they noticed benefits. But again, it really depends from person to person on what kind of benefits they will see, how their system will respond to the practice, and how quickly you will see the benefits. There's no guarantee on how this process is going to work for you, but definitely the possibility is there. And we showed you the website. We showed you a section where there were sharings from different people who are practicing the Kriya, and there was also some research that was done. If you look at it, there has been research done on people who, many of them, I think almost 90% of them or even more, reported that their depression, they got relief from the psychological ailments. And there are even people who were able to even come out of the medication that they were having. But again, it all depends from person to person. So I would suggest that you go through the program and then you start doing the practice, and then gradually you see how it's working for you, and then you gradually consult with your doctor and see if uh, any change in medication is needed, if you are taking any medication right now. What is the best time to do the sessions of inner engineering online, is Lenny? So there's no best time as such. I would say that whenever you're able to be on your own and be completely with the class, the 90-minute class, that's the best time to go through it. So best to find space and time when you're not disturbed by people around you. And you can just go through it as if you were going through an in-person program. So, Sarush, there are just 3 sessions on the website for inner engineering online. Shall we register for 4 more sessions later, or it will be conditional after first 3 sessions? So, Sarush, I think you're confusing with the 3 sessions of the inner engineering completion program. So, inner engineering, if you're doing it online, it's in 2 steps. The online program, the first step is 7 sessions. Once you register for the online program, then you'll receive the link to go through the 7 classes. All those 7 classes are in one place. Okay. And when you register for the completion program, that is offered through 3 sessions and a particular date and time. Okay, so that's the completion program that you might have looked at, the 3 sessions, the one that's coming up in September. There's also an option to register for both online and completion program together as a package, where you register for it, and then firstly you'll receive the link to go through online program, and once you complete the classes, then you will your registration, they will guide you on when the completion program is, the dates, and all the information will be given to you. Okay. I'm from Colombia. My level of English is so-so. Sometime I'm losing. Do you think it is a problem? So, Patricia, as long as you're able to understand English to the extent that you'll be able to understand the instructions for the practice that is taught, that is okay. Even if you miss certain aspects of it, the volunteers are there to support. So you can always reach out and catch up with any aspects of the practice that you were not able to understand. So if you are able to even not understand few aspects of the program, it's okay. As long as you're able to get the instructions for the practice, you'll be fine. And Davina, I'm practicing Isha Kriya. It was said to be 12 minutes, but I stay in the meditative state of upwards of 45 minutes. So Davina is talking about Isha Kriya practice, which is a very simple Kriya that's offered online. It's one of the practices that's just available online. Anyone can learn and make use of it. Uh, the duration of the practice is 12 to 15 minutes, but Veena, if you are in a meditative state for 45 minutes after the practice, that's okay. Question from Ellen. Are you saying the only refresher is in cities that have local support? Is there any online refresher for Shambhavi? So Ellen, once you go through inner engineering completion program and then Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, then there is an satsang, monthly gathering that happens in all major cities. And if you don't have a city close to you where the in-person gathering is happening, then the online option for satsang is also available. So if you're not able to go or attend it in in person, which is the recommended option. You can always go through it online. You will definitely go through Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya again, and then it will help you refresh the practice if you need a refresher. And also, there's a guided meditation that happens during the satsang, and the support from volunteers that is provided for corrections. So that's the advantage of attending those monthly gatherings after the program in person, because if you need any corrections for the practice, then volunteers can help you in person. Whereas if you're attending it online, then you will have an opportunity to ask questions, but there won't be any opportunity for you to receive corrections. Okay. So, question from Sandra. I'm retaking to learn how to adapt some recent health issues and how to adapt practice. As I had to stop recently, what's the best way to adapt the practice, and who can you reach out to? So those of you who have already learned Shambhavi Mahamudra, if you really want a full refresher, you can also go through this program again, just the completion program that's happening in September. You could go through it again. That way, you'll be able to refresh all aspects of the program, go through it completely. Another option is you can also volunteer for the program and support it. As volunteers, it's an opportunity to take it to others, as well as you'll be able to also go through the program as a volunteer and refresh all aspects of it. Okay, so I think we looked at all the questions about inner engineering program and Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. If you have any further questions, you can always reach out to our support line. We also offer these live webinars with Isha instructors regularly. So you could also attend the next webinar if more questions come up. And all this information is also available online on innerengineering.com. So I hope today's session was helpful for you, and we wish that you are able to take this step and start this journey towards your inner well-being. No matter which city, state, or you're from, no matter what your exposure in life has been, what religion, what culture you come from, this is just science and technology that Sadhguru is offering from ancient yogic sciences. And anyone who uses this technology, it can work for them. It has worked for me. It has worked for millions of volunteers who are now with the foundation, and it can work in miraculous ways. So please do explore this further, and we invite you to take this step towards your inner well-being. So thank you very much for joining us today, and have a great night.